I'm so excited to be here talking to you today about the advertising agency Saatchi and Saatchi. I really enjoyed looking at the industry, the market, the changes going on, and coming up with some recommendations, which I'm going to share with you today. So Saatchi and Saatchi is a full-service advertising agency, as I mentioned. It's a global company working with huge clients like Toyota and General Mills. The tagline is "Nothing is impossible." Saatchi and Saatchi has worked with a ton of brands, though, as you can see here. And the creative is really quite interesting. It changes based on the client they're working with and the medium. It's been around since the 1970s, and it's really done some amazing work. Looking at the advertising industry in general, advertising is a $6 billion industry growing at 5% annually. In 2015, there were more than 133,000 advertising agencies in the US, so the space is quite competitive and fragmented. I delved into some of the trends going on in the industry. These are everything from a large shift to digital from traditional advertising, a focus on data, personalization. There's large consolidation, privacy concerns, and the agencies are really being squeezed by tech giants like Google and Facebook. There's a ton of players, as I mentioned. Here are just some of them, everything from 72 and Sunny, which is a more independent advertising agency, to something like IPG, which is a corporation, Fortune 500 company that has a ton of different advertising agencies underneath its brand, like underneath its umbrella. Some of the indirect competitors of Saatchi and Saatchi, Facebook and Google, as I mentioned, have a large percentage of the advertising spend in the industry. But then something like Accenture, which now has an in-house creative arm, creating campaigns and creative documents and different things for their clients. Looking at the customer journey process, so for a company like Saatchi and Saatchi, the way that it's discovered, it starts with agency awareness through the ads they've done, being in the news, getting awards from Cannes Lions. When a company decides it wants to work with a new agency, it does research on what agencies work in their space, and then it invites companies to RFP. The different agencies that are invited to RFP each create a creative campaign, which they then present, and the company reviews all the submissions and chooses an agency that it now wants to work with. The agency is a B2B business, so Saatchi and Saatchi is not working with one stakeholder, but many across its client's company. Everything from marketing and branding to advertising, finance, and C-suite executives. From all the work I've done, some of the key insights I discovered are there are many players in the advertising space. The industry is extremely fragmented and competitive. There isn't much differentiation, and the customer journey is all about knowing the agency and trusting it. So the awareness of seeing the ads and hearing about their awards and interacting with the brand, with Saatchi and Saatchi, is really important in order to win new business. So I've come up with a few recommendations. Recommendation number one for Saatchi and Saatchi is to define a differentiator. Instead of being something for everyone, really focus on what makes Saatchi and Saatchi different. I think what makes them different is that they're a global company, they have a long trusted history, and their creative really pushes the envelope. My second recommendation is focusing on brand alignment. I pulled the Instagram from Saatchi and Saatchi New York, Dubai, and Copenhagen. You can see that the logos look different. Dubai is listed as local business, where Copenhagen is advertising agency. The creative all looks different. Really, in order to come across as a cohesive global brand, I think that Saatchi and Saatchi needs to work on making sure that no matter where you see the brand, it has one cohesive story. Lastly, refresh brand personality. Lean into the Saatchi and Saatchi motto, "Nothing is impossible." build a tech or brand incubator to try out new ideas, and be the rebel brand that it was when it first emerged on the scene in 1970. And with that, I'll open it up for questions. Thank you so much.